Good morning, welcome to another presentation of the Solid Sports Video Blog. This is episode 223. Today's date is February 18th, 2023. I'm Troy West, and thank you for joining me again this morning. Welcome to the Solid Sports Gaming channel. Definitely check out the rest of my projects, my video game playthroughs, and everything else with the channel. Channel a bit taking some lumps lately, but we're still pushing. I thank you guys for joining me this morning for another great episode of the Solid Sports Video Blog. Not a lot really to talk about today. I'm sharing my MLB top 5 third baseman. We'll take a look at that this morning. As baseball season is right around the corner, though. It's spring training. It's just about to start. Pitchers and catchers already reported for, I think, all teams. And, things will start kicking off this week with actual exhibition games. So, and, of course, the World Baseball Classic is coming soon. But I've been doing it every week, taking the position. So we're about to go out in the outfield. So we're getting close to the end. We're going to do outfielders next week, starting pitchers and relievers as well in the coming weeks. So join me for all that. NBA is All-Star Weekend. We'll take a look at, give you a quick preview of what's going to go on this weekend. Also, look at the standings, the second half, as there's really only roughly 20 games left for pretty much everybody. So, this is the push for the playoffs. We'll take a look at the standings and give my little tidbits of what I think is going to happen in the second half of the season. And the NFL season is now officially over. Super Bowl 57 was a great winner, as I predicted. Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs won it on a last second field goal, 38-35. Honestly, man, I watched the game, but I was sort of in and out. I was drinking a little bit, but I watched the game. The holding call was unfortunate, but you got to be disciplined in those type of situations. So we'll talk about the game and some coaching and player movement, news, franchise tags is coming. So we'll touch on that and just touch on what's going on with the channel. If you still like football, XFL starts today. They got noon is the first game, so check out the XFL. We'll see how that league was pretty entertaining before they had to shut down because of COVID. It get bankrupt, and then The Rock came in and swooped and took it. So we'll take a quick look at that as well. So pretty informational show today. Even though, like I said, things gonna start slowing down as the football season's over. Basketball gonna pick up, but not really much to talk about with no football, though. Be honest with you, but let's go ahead and let me share my top 5 third basemen in the major leagues. Like I said, I try to do my research on these days because I don't watch a lot of baseball myself. I'm a big baseball fan, but I don't get a chance to watch a lot of games. So I did a little research. I pretty much watched the playoffs, and every game of the regular season now and then. But so I did my research on it, and this is my real opinion. Some people might disagree, so I'm gonna start at 5 and work my way up to 1. Rafael Devers of the Boston Red Sox. Me being an Orioles fan, I know a lot about him. Just got his contract, so he got his money. But he's been a steady player for the Sox for the last couple of years. I got him at number 5. Number 4, I ain't gonna lie, this is sort of a fan pick. As me being a Braves fan, Austin Riley. He's my 4th third baseman on the list. Definitely hits for power. Almost had another 40 home run season. He's number 4. Number 3, Jose Ramirez for the Cleveland Guardians. This guy was in the MVP conversation just last year. The Guardians won the division. And a lot of people didn't think they was going. I didn't think they was going to win the Central last year. They did it. He was a big reason why. He's at number 3. Number 2, Manny Machado. I think Manny Machado to me is a little, I don't want to say underrated, but I don't think he get talked about a lot. Maybe because, like I said, because they haven't won, and then I think the way the Padres season ended last year, But the Padres are loaded. You know, they made some moves, get Xander Bogaerts. They made the move to get the outfielder, which might be on my list, the young Juan Soto. But Fernando Tatis Jr. be the same after the PED bust. We'll see about that. But they 4 elite hitters right there, cleared it himself. I saw him a lot here in Baltimore when he was an Oriole. I was hoping they would have kept him and signed him, but he wound up leaving. Got traded to the Dodgers. And then now he's with San Diego as he got his contract. So to me, he's number 2. Yeah, he's great defensively. That's why I put him above some of these other guys. But some people probably wouldn't have him this high, but I do. He's number 2. And Nolan Arenado for the St. Louis Cardinals, is number 1. Also was MVP candidate last year. Led the Cardinals, him and Paul Goldschmidt on the other side at first base. So the Cardinals got two elite corners, first and third base. I think I had Paul Goldschmidt first. I might have did for first baseman. I have to check that out. I'll go back and see, but that's my list. So Rafael Devers of the Boston Red Sox, number 4, Austin Riley of the Atlanta Braves, Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Guardians, Manny Machado of the San Diego Padres, and Nolan Arenado, of course, was a long-time Colorado Rocky, moves over to St. Louis as a Cardinal. He's my top third baseman in baseball. So next week we'll go to the outfield. We're not going to break down every position. I'm just going to put outfielders, period. So that might be a little bit of a rough list. Some people might get left off that list. We're going to do 5. So come join me next week, baseball fans, for that. So that's our baseball talk. I always get the baseball talk out the way first, because I don't have a lot of baseball fans that I know. So let's go ahead and jump into the NBA news this week. Let's go ahead and touch on the All-Star weekend first. Let me get out my phone. Of course, the Rising Stars was last night. When usually the rookies play the sophomores. I think it's World. I guess it's USA against the World now. I don't even know. But that was last night. A lot of people not talking about it. But I used to like that event when it was the rookies against the sophomores. I used to like it when it was like that. Even the USA versus the World is not bad because you got enough foreign players to make 2 good teams, you know. But I think it's still second and first year players. Let me go to the NBA. Okay, let's go to here. Maybe this will tell us some things. The 3-point contest probably is the most exciting event now, which would be tonight. The 3-point contest, the dunk contest. The dunk contest, of course, has lost luster a long time ago. But the NBA, to me, probably out of, like I said, out of all the major sports, I think they do it the best with their All-Stars. I think baseball is starting to become, because it's like you can't really, it's hard to take it easy in baseball. You either give it your all or you can't. It's not going to be, baseball is probably the most authentic All-Star game. But I think the whole festivities and everything, I think the NBA does it better. So the game is in Utah. That's one thing I did know. So it's like a little tournament. Yeah, that's right. Team Powell, Team Joakim, which is Joakim Noah, D Wade. Oh no, this was the celebrity game. I'm sorry about that. So everything started off. So it was a celebrity game last night. D Wade over Team Wine. I don't know who Ryan is. Probably if I read more, I could probably get that. But it was the All-Star Challenge. So I think it still is World against USA because Joakim Noah led the I guess the USA players. Okay, so they changed the format a little bit. So as far as the All-Star game, Giannis is the captain. But I also read that well, they're gonna be picking on the court right before the game, but the starters going to be picked last, so that's gonna be interesting to see how things go. But I'm gonna go off the roster real quick. This is the East. Of course, Giannis is the captain. He's questionable. He might not play. He got a wrist injury. Got Kyrie Irving of the Brooklyn Nets. Of course, that's what he got picked as, but he got traded right after they got picked. So he's actually on the East. So this is the East lineup. But he's a Western Conference player now. Donovan Mitchell, Cleveland Cavaliers, Kevin Durant. He's not gonna play. He also was picked before he got moved to Phoenix. So so these are starters. So that's which is weird because now that they in the West, really, it's only 3 East starters there, which is Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, and Giannis. And Giannis might not even play. This is the West starters. LeBron is the captain. Then you got Joakim Noah. Steph not going to play, but he was voted as a starter. Zion Williamson, he's not going to play either. And then you got Luka. Even though they say he might not play either. So it's going to be interesting to see how they move stuff around. This is the East Reserve. Jaylen Brown, Joel Embiid. A lot of people think he should have been started. DeMar DeRozan, Julius Randle, Drew Holiday, Tyrese Halliburton for the Indiana Pacers. Bam Adebayo and Pascal Siakam. He got in because he was replacing someone else. In the West, Shai Julius Alexander. I like his game. I like the Thunder, and I like his game. I seen some highlights of him. He's pretty good. Dame Dollar, who's been doing this thing lately. Paul George, John Morant, Jared Jackson Jr., Domantas Sabonis, and Anthony Edwards, who was a replacement. De'Aaron Fox, who was also a replacement. So it does list here Embiid, Markkanen, and Morant will be starters due to injuries to Durant, Curry, and Williamson. So Embiid actually will be in that starter spot. So a lot of stuff been moved around. Okay, so these skills challenge. This is what the little obstacle course thing. So Giannis got a team. It's him and his little brother Darius Antetokounmpo. Jazz, Alex. So all the Antetokounmpos. Then you got the Utah Jazz, which is the home team. Colin Sexton, Walker Kessler, Jordan Clarkson. Then the Rooks, Paolo Banchero of the Orlando Magic, Jalen Ivey, Detroit Pistons, Jabari Smith Jr. of the Houston Rockets. So that's that. Dunk contest. Now this was used to be the which everybody was looking for. Kenyon Martin Jr. I'm just gonna go about how I know his father was. Kenyon Martin. That he's my favorite. Trey Murphy III of the New Orleans Pelicans. They say he's pretty good. Matt McClain. Honestly, I don't know who he is, but he's with the Philadelphia 76ers. Jericho Sims also. I don't know him, but he's for the New York Knicks. So I'm gonna just go with Kenyon Martin Jr. Just seem like the easy pick, but we'll be surprised if somebody else wins. Now the 3-point contest, these are the guys here. Tyrese Halliburton, who's an all-star. Tyler Hero, Miami Heat. Indiana Pacers was Halliburton, by the way. Buddy Hield, also a Pacer, so 2 Pacers in it. 2 Trailblazers, Damian Lillard, Anthony Simons. Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics, Louis Markkanen, Utah Jazz. So he's not he's an all-star now as well. And Kevin Huerter of the Sacramento Kings. So honestly, out of these guys, I don't know. I don't know, Jason Tatum seems like the easy pick, right? I don't think Dame gonna win because, like, when you got a jump, that takes more energy to shoot your shot. So usually shorter guys usually don't win this competition. Like, usually be a mid forward like Jason Tatum. Buddy Hield can shoot the ball out, lights out the ball. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with Tatum. I'll go with Tatum to win it. Don't know if he will, but I think I'm gonna go with him to win it. It's probably gonna be either marketed or Herder or somebody you don't think it's gonna be with Tyler Hero. If he wins it, that'll be entertaining. So that's what's gonna go on this weekend. And of course, the All-Star game itself, like I said, they're gonna pick the players right before the game, so we don't know what the teams is yet, so I can't preview that. So I can't say who's gonna win, LeBron or Giannis' team, because the teams ain't put together yet. But I think the NBA, like I said, they do a good job with the All-Star week, so hopefully it'll be entertaining. I try to watch what I can. Mostly every day's on TNT though, so it's gonna be hard for me to watch anything. But now let's look at the NBA standings. Let's look and see. Looking forward to the second half of the season. Like I said, Boston, the Celtics has really impressed me this year. Of course, they got the best record in basketball, but I thought by losing Coach Udoka, I thought that would hold them back. Even though the Bucks would come in winning 12 straight, they've been on fire. And now they only a half game out of Boston. Giannis, to me, we're gonna talk about the MVP, who we think should be MVP, because it was a poll out this week. We'll get into that after we skip through the status real quick. Philadelphia 76ers also been playing great basketball. Joel Embiid doing his thing. They third in the East. Cleveland at the fourth spot. Right now, you gotta say they're gonna be a top four, because Brooklyn probably about to start falling at 5. Knicks, look out for the Knicks. I like the way the Knicks been playing. Jalen Brunson been doing his thing. Miami, they're the two teams that might move up and benefit from Brooklyn losing their guys. Now the rest of these teams is under 500. Miami's in that 7th spot, by the way. This the players bracket. Atlanta's 8th. They game under. You got Washington. I think they hang around because of talent. Toronto as well. Now Indiana is falling like a rock. They 26-34. They will be out. Chicago, 26 wins as well. One less loss to Indiana. Orlando quietly been playing pretty well as well for the circumstances. For their young team, that's a team to watch out for. Charlotte, I think, might make a push as well. I've been saying that for the last couple of weeks. I think LaMelo Ball being back, puts us together, makes them be able to compete. So I think those teams still have a shot. I think Detroit, still some growing pains. But we'll see if James Robinson is the real deal. I think he can help the Pistons in the future. So look for them next year. The West, Denver Nuggets, very impressive as well this year. Nikola Jokic, of course, right now he would be MVP according to the vote that they just took. Memphis Grizzlies, like I said, still second, but haven't been playing great to their potential. Just got to get out their own head. I just think that's their issue. Look at the road home splits: 24-5 at home, 11-17 on the road. So they got to get that together. Sacramento Kings been a surprise all year. They third. I think they hang around. Clippers and the Suns. The Clippers, of course, they might get Russell Westbrook. That's been the rumor, but will Kawhi Leonard and Paul George play enough? That's why it's hard for me to get behind them. Phoenix, like I said last week, with the big trade of Kevin Durant, of course they're the best team on paper. Chris Paul, I believe in. DeAndre Ayton, they was able to keep him. Devin Booker, he's going to do his thing. Can they stay healthy and put it together in time? I think it's not going to be easy, but I think they have the capability. But it's not a guarantee that they're going to get all the way to the finals or win a championship. So slow down on the Phoenix Suns as well, but I think they're going to be impressive. Dallas Mavericks, Kyrie being there, I think they got to figure it out. Kyrie and Luka. People already saying some crazy stuff. I just think they ain't been together long, enough. They got to get, both guys are basically point guards. So, but I think Kyrie can play off the ball, so I think they'd be fine. I just think defensively they just too small and just can't defend nobody. I think that's Dallas' problem more than those two guys. The New Orleans Pelicans just fell off the map as well. Started off well, but they need Zion back. They need him back healthy. Bradley Ingram been doing what he can. I've seen him play. He's been playing very, very well. But and see McCollum's hurt right now. But all of them, they have to be healthy. They don't have no depth, so that's the Pelicans' weakness. They're in the 7th spot. Minnesota Timberwolves, disappointing year to me as well. But Cat been out most of the year. Anthony Edwards is coming to his own though. Rudy Gobert, like I said, he's a defensive anchor, so I don't know why people expecting him to be a scorer. That's not who he is. But we'll see. I think Minnesota might make a push though. Warriors to me is probably the scariest by how far they are down in the standings. They probably the scariest team to me. I think once they get healthy, they can turn things around. You can't doubt them. I don't think they'd be scared to go on the road and play anybody, any of that type of stuff. So they could be a dangerous lower seed if they don't move up. But they might move up from 9, but it's gonna be hard for me to think they're not gonna make the playoffs. Like I said, I've been rapping about the OKC Thunder. I like the young team. SGA. I just abbreviate his name because sometimes I mess his name all up. Young kid, he can definitely play some basketball. I think they're gonna be real good next year. I think they'd be a perennial playoff team next year, and I think they're gonna make the playoffs this year. Utah. They recently tried to break the house down. I think they're gonna start struggling a little bit. The Blazers, they got Dame. That's why I think they always got a shot. The Lakers, they made some great trades. Like I said, they made some great trades. They finally got under Russell Westbrook, got him out of there. D'Angelo Russell, even though he's, I think Minnesota gonna miss him though. But I think they got guys that can make up for his production. They already, but I think LeBron and around the shooters, but Anthony, it's all about the Anthony Davis to me. I've been saying that for the last couple of years. It's all about Anthony Davis. If he, able to stay healthy first of all and just play. Now, something been going on with him weirdly. When LeBron broke the score record, he was, sulking on the bench. There's been little stuff going on behind the scenes with him. But I think if he gets himself together, I think that the Lakers could be dangerous, but I still don't think they're going to move up too high. I think they might make the play-in, but I don't think they're going to go all the way up to 6 or anything like that. Last 2 teams, they pretty much done. San Antonio, hopefully they can get the first pick. Maybe they can get another Tim Duncan. Maybe that's what they're thinking. And Houston Rockets. I think the Houston Rockets, though, even though they got 13 wins, they play hard. I like what they done. They got John Wall back. I think they're going to just buy him out or something. I don't and John Wall to me has been I know he probably he's been hurt and stuff, but hopefully he can get back on the court. I like his game. Hopefully he get his career back on track. If he does stay in Houston, just be the leader, get the young guys straight. They're gonna get another high pick next year, so I think Houston will be able to turn things around sooner than you think as well. So, but going into the second half, like I said, I think Denver going to stay. As we stay in the West, I think Denver's going to stay a contender. I think they're going to wind up winning the 1 seed. I think they're too far behind. So, too far ahead. I don't think nobody's going to come. I don't think Phoenix. Everybody's off. I understand why everybody was get behind Phoenix, but I think Denver's going to hold on to that 1 seed. I think the Grizzlies going to get it together too. I think they're going to take this break and get stuff together. Sorry, I was getting a phone call. So the Kings, like I said, I think the Kings gonna stay here. The only, like I said, the wild card teams to be in the West is that, like, well, the question marks. Clippers, even though the Clippers, like I said, just like on paper they fine, but how will Kawhi play? Like, is he gonna play enough? Is Paul George gonna play enough? If they do get Russell Westbrook, will that work out? Will it be just, So a lot of questions with the Clippers. Phoenix, like I said, the question is just, can they get on the court? Can Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, can they get on the court? Can they mesh in a little bit of time? Like I said, I think this year more than ever, especially in the West, it's going to depend on matchup. I don't think home court going to make a difference. I mean, it's good to have it, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. I think Phoenix, the Clippers. Now the Kings, they young, so they might need a little bit of home court here and there. Memphis as well, but like the Golden State, like I said, they can go on the road and play with anybody. I don't think that's going to matter. So it's going to be real issue. I think it's going to depend on matchups this year in the West. So we'll see how that work out. Go back up to the East. Like I said, I think Boston, Milwaukee, and Philly, they're going to fight for that 1 seed all year long. And think about the Bucks. No Chris Middleton most of the year, but they got a deep team. Philly starting to get it together. James Harden started to look his old self. Joel Embiid, when he's motivated, he's one of the best players in the NBA, and I think he's going to be motivated the rest of the year. And then this, we're going to get to this MVP thing in a second. That's going to motivate him. So Philly, Milwaukee, Boston, they're clear top 3. Cleveland would probably be right there at 4, because I just don't think. Maybe the Knicks and the Heat, but like I said, Brooklyn about to start losing, so they're gonna fall. So I think Cleveland will at least be in that top 6, and maybe Miami and New York. Atlanta to me too inconsistent. Washington, Toronto, all the teams after the ones I name is too inconsistent. I think the Knicks will be fine. I think Miami will be fine. So I think Miami's gonna move up. Brooklyn might fall all the way out, but I think Miami and the Knicks going to move up, and then maybe Atlanta could get the 6th spot, and avoid the play-in. But I think it's a long way to go for that. But the clear top teams in the East is clearly Boston, Milwaukee, and Philadelphia. It's not even close. I think Cleveland's still young, even though they got 38 wins and they playing well. Still think they got some flaws, and just in the Spurs, even though Donovan Mitchell, when the playoffs come, he plays pretty well. So. Like I said, my picks are probably, I think I did pick Brooklyn to get out the East, so that's, of course, I don't think that's going to happen anymore. In the West, I picked the Warriors. I'm going to stick with the Warriors, though, in the West. I still got to see more from Denver, Memphis, and these other teams. So I'm still going to stick with the Warriors for now, even though I'm sort of hanging on by dear life with that pick. But in the East, I'm definitely off Brooklyn. And if I had to pick a team right now, I would go with Milwaukee now. Because of their spirit, because they got Giannis. So let's get into that. It was a poll I think they took for the voters. Basically, who's your MVP so far right now, and it's really, like I said, it's not a lot of season left. I think Nikola is 100 votes. Nikola Jokic got 77 out the 100 votes. I think Giannis got a couple. It was Giannis. Joel Embiid got 1. Jason Tatum got some votes, I believe. I think that was it. I think nobody else even got a vote. It's hard to argue with Jokic because he's actually having a triple-double right now. Denver's in first place in the West. He's pretty much been carrying that team the last couple years with the injuries to Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. couldn't stay in the lineup. But it's hard to argue with him. But me personally, like I said, I would take Giannis over him this year and last year. I said I would vote for Giannis. Think of what Giannis is doing without his top guy just beside him. And to me, honestly, man, I can say the East this year, at least so far, is probably a little bit tougher than the West is. Like overall, like at the top. You know, like the West is a lot of teams. There's a lot of good teams in the West. Don't get me wrong, but there's not no consistency. You know, in the West. So I mean, you can juggle it. I just would take Giannis because I just think eventually he's a better player. First of all, and then it's just I think he. Even though Jokic got a lot of responsibility as well, he's basically the point guard too. He's a point guard. Sometimes he got to score. Now I don't think he got to score as much. I think he's more of a distributor of the basketball, especially this year. But when he got to score, he can score. And then what Joel Embiid did to him a couple of Sundays ago, destroyed him. I just think he's not good defensively at all. Lisa Embiid play a little defense, and Giannis does too. I think defense does matters a little bit, but it's hard to argue against him because, like I said, he's first. He got first in this conference, and he's averaged a triple-double this year as a center, and I think that's why that's impressive. Even though everybody said the triple-double is watered down a little bit, but I think he deserved to at least be a front runner. But I would take Giannis personally as my MVP right now. If the season ended today, Giannis would be my MVP, even though he's pretty much tied for first in the East. 12-game winning streak. Unfortunately, he just got hurt the other night, so hopefully it's a minor injury. Hopefully he's still able to play the All-Star game as well, but I would be surprised if he don't play just to get ready for the second half. So that was an interesting poll, you know, but I will go with Giannis. Okay. Got about a half hour left. Let's get into the NFL. Let's look back at Super Bowl 57. What a game, by the way. I pretty much missed the first quarter. I was hanging with my brother, Don Juan. Shout out to him. Fat man to God. We was chilling, you know, we chilled in a minute, you know. Been working and stuff like that. Then he's going through some things at his home. But anyway, so I didn't really see the first quarter. I was traveling back home, got it in there to watch pretty much the end of the second quarter. Then I ain't gonna lie, I was drinking a little bit, so I was like in and out the game, but I watched the game, you know, pretty much the second half. Philly played their hearts out, man. Jalen Hurts played well. I think he's earned. If I was Philadelphia, I would be thinking about getting a contract together, man. I think the sooner you pay these guys, the better off it is for you in the future. We ain't gonna talk much about. I wanted to talk about Lamar, but I think I'm gonna talk about that next week, so they have something to talk about with the NFL. Because I think the franchise tag thing is coming this week, so I want to talk about that because I think he's gonna get franchised. But anyway, I think Philly should go ahead and pay him. He played very well in that game. Just couldn't stop Mahomes. They couldn't get no pressure on him. The defensive line was held in check. So was Kansas City. They didn't make a lot of plays or hurts either. Hurts really the hurt part of the game was the fumble that was returned for a touchdown. That hurt the Eagles. And then of course the holding penalty, which a lot of people debated on. It should have been called at that moment, blah blah blah. But it was just too obvious. Like, you couldn't let that one go. It was just too obvious. And then I think they showed some plays when they was letting them hold and stuff the whole game. That's why officiating kind of sucks, because you don't want a game to end that way or be a reason why somebody win or lose. But you got to be disciplined in that time, and just trust your technique and don't grab or hold. I set up the game with a field goal. Patrick Mahomes won MVP. Numbers didn't jump off the charts, but we went 12 for 13 passing, just 92 yards in the second half. Pretty much let the Chiefs was down again by 10, which they used to. Came back and won another game. Second Super Bowl in his career. People already got him as top 5. I did say, like I said, I did my top 5 quarterbacks last week. And I didn't put him in there yet, but he has to be considered now. And I think they're gonna be right there again next year. So congratulations to the Chiefs. I wouldn't go dynasty yet either. That's been another debate that's been going around. Is the Chiefs a dynasty? I mean, it's probably about to be. But I think they will have to win it next year to validate it. But they have been in the AFC. You could say they're a dynasty, just the AFC, but the whole NFL, no. Just 2 or 5 years, basically. No. It's good, but no. I think you got to win. To be a dynasty, you got to win at least 2 in a row, as well. Go back to back. So if they win it next year, then we could call it a dynasty. But I ain't gonna go there either. But they have dominated the AFC though the last 5 years since Mahomes been the starter. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, Super Bowl, that's my greatest time of the year for me. I love the Super Bowl. I wish I could have had more things, but it was cool. I made the best of it. Had my drink, so I was fine. But yeah, next year, like I said, if they win it next year, I would say they're a dynasty, but I don't think so right now. But the AFC can't argue that because they dominated the AFC. As far as on the Eagles side of it, like I said, I think, like I said, I would play Jalen Hurts. Make sure he's locked up. Keep the core together. I just think, like I said, they gotta just get a little bit better. Obviously on the defensive side, they got holes in the defense that was exploited. So get better on that side of the ball. So did Kansas City, but that's been a problem for the Chiefs for years. But the defensive line, even though they're great, maybe the linebackers need to be touched up a little bit. Secondary maybe, but they're going to be formidable in the NFC. The NFC to me wide open, other than San Francisco. Everybody else have a lot of question marks. Even Dallas, the team in their own division. The Giants, we'll see if they can put together another year. Whatever teams in the playoff. Minnesota, still got Kirk Cousins. I'm not saying he was the reason, but and they gotta get better defensively as well. Detroit is a team I like next year. I think they'll take a step forward. Next year, we'll see what's going to happen with the Packers. Don't know if Aaron Rodgers even will come back. Other contenders, let's say Tampa's done because if Tom Brady don't change his mind, Tampa be looking for a quarterback. They done. New Orleans, if they get one. Now that Derek Carr, that's another thing. We're going to touch on it a little bit. Maybe he go to New Orleans. That's starting to become a snowball now. So if he goes there, then the New Orleans to me will be the best team in that division. Atlanta, if they wind up getting Lamar, these are all rumors now. They could be a special. Let's go back to the East though. Washington. As we jump into our news now, coaching and player news. I just mentioned Derek Carr, but I'm going to touch on the Washington thing real quick because I just want to get it out the way. Everybody knows, speaking of the Chiefs Super Bowl champions, Eric Bieniemy, who's been trying to get a coaching job for the last couple of years since they won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. They didn't get no job obviously again this year. But it's going to take this Washington OC job. And what that tells me is people don't believe in him. I think they think it's all Andy Reid. Mostly Andy Reid anyway, that, as far as the play calling, but I don't think it's I think race do got something to do with it, because that's basically what the debate has been. I think race do plays a little bit part of it. Now I'm hearing rumors little reports that he's not a nice guy. He don't have a great attitude. His character a little bit of question. But why we never heard this until this year? Because this year he probably really should have got a job. Arizona just hired like the two Eagles coordinators. OC and DC got a job. The DC I think went to Arizona. The OC went to Indianapolis. So they both got jobs and they lost the Super Bowl. And they both was white, if you want to throw that in there. The enemy though, I think, I was saying Reed, but I think it's Mahomes as well. I think because you got a great quarterback, people don't think, you have to do as much. honestly, I was guilty of saying, like Peyton Manning, I don't even know who his offensive coordinator was. His offensive coordinator probably went on and got a job, but I don't know who he was. I would think about it. If I got Peyton, I'm fine, you know. I think it's the same with Mahomes, so maybe that might be another reason to throw it in, you know. But I just think it's unfair to steal to him because it's people that have no experience that gotten a chance, and he has a lot of experience working with. Like, you would think you would want to hire him just because he's under Andy Reid, even if he's not calling the plays or whatever they're trying to say. Just being under Andy Reid. Think about Bill Belichick, all the people that got jobs off of Bill Belichick, and none of them wound up being nowhere near as good. Bill O'Brien, Romeo Cornell, the only person that got some success, and I don't even think he was really under Bill Belichick, is Mike Vrabel. He used to play for Bill Belichick, but I don't think he ever served. I have to check that. I don't think he ever served under Bill Belichick, but he has probably some Belichick, you know, mind in him. He's the only successful one. Everybody else has gone somewhere. Look at Josh McDaniels in Las Vegas. And now this is going to be his year that they got rid of Carr. We're going to touch, like I said, we're going to touch on that story in a second too, because I think the Raiders made a mistake. Honestly, unless they really think they're going to get Aaron Rodgers or somebody, I think the Raiders made a mistake with their Carr. But to go back to Bieniemy, I do think something going on. Now personally, I wouldn't have took the Washington job, but I'm not him, and I'm not going to say what he should or shouldn't do. Maybe he think this is a better thing. Maybe he needs to get away from Kansas City to prove himself, which he shouldn't have to. And Washington, well, they don't have no legit quarterback, but they have some pieces there, some offensive pieces. I like Terry McLaurin, some of the receivers they got there. The running backs are not bad either, so if you get the quarterback that you want, maybe things can work out there in Washington. And like I said, the NFC is open, so it's going to be some surprise teams next year, just like the Giants was, you know. So we'll see what happened next year. But I ain't gonna say he shouldn't have did it. I was surprised that he took the job. So, but I think another thing that's kind of disappointing, like, even though Andy Reid have spoken up for him, but you don't hear a lot of players saying too much, you know, that this guy's this guy's that. I heard something this morning though that during the Super Bowl, them two wide open flat plays that they hit, Bieniemy was the one that saw the weakness in Philadelphia defense. So the guy knows what he's doing, but I would want to hire him just because he's under Andy Reid. You know, that's how it used to go. Mike Holmgren, they was bringing up Mike Holmgren, like all the people that's, you know, the hype. Andy Reid was under Mike Holmgren, like all these Mike Holmgren guys that's still in the NFL today. You know, and Mike Holmgren only won one Super Bowl, got to another with Seattle. You know, so Bill Parcells. So all these guys, you know, still got guys, you know, from that tree. So, but unfortunately, you know, he got to go through this. Maybe if he get Washington to the playoffs, you know, if the offense play very, very well, maybe he'll finally get a coaching job. But we'll see. So I just wanted to touch on that, get my 2 cents on that. Like I said, the other news, Derek Carr got released, I think last week, officially, or was it earlier this week officially, but I didn't get a chance to talk about it. I think the Raiders made a mistake. But I remember a post that I made, a short that I made. I might could pull it up and play it, when they paid Derek Carr. I was saying, with the choice the Raiders had now, so Raiders fans was pushing back like, man, I don't think we should have did this, whatever. And maybe I was right. I think Josh McDaniels didn't want him in the first place. I think he wanted to bring his own guy in there. Jarrett Stidham, who played the last couple of games of the season, because Derek Carr basically got sent home, or he wanted to go home or whatever. And Stidham played pretty good, so maybe Josh McDaniels with his own guy, which is understandable. In the job, you know, when you're a coach, you want to have the players that you want, you know. So if you don't fail, at least you won't feel like, oh, well, I ain't had what I needed. So that's why he ain't gonna have no excuses this year. So I don't know if they're gonna draft a quarterback. Like I said, they're gonna somehow get Rodgers. That's the rumor, but I don't think that's going to. I think Aaron Rodgers going to. I think he's going to wind up staying in Green Bay. But I think the Raiders made a mistake. I think they made a mistake. But like they would say, what teams should you go to? Like I said, New Orleans to me is interesting because New Orleans already got a decent team there, and I think he can fit right in and play well. Defense is good as well, so you have to worry about, because that was one of the Raiders' problems. They couldn't stop nobody. So we'll see if he goes there. Now, like I said, now Tampa's open. I think Tampa, not as good that they was when Brady first got there, so I think they need some tweaking to do. Carolina's another team, I guess you could say, that's open. I guess Houston, even though Houston, I think they want to start from scratch. His brother used to play for the Texans. I throw out Tennessee as well. I think Ryan Tannehill is recent stealing. So maybe that's, these are just teams I'm starting to, bring up. Yeah, that's probably it. The Jets, maybe, they, like Zach Wilson is probably just about done in New York, so they might need a guy. So that's another place. So there's teams out there that can use their card, but we'll see. I think the Raiders made a mistake. I think unless they do something between now and maybe the draft or start of the season, I think the Raiders will be in the basement in the AFC West. Denver hired Sean Payton. I mean, I think that's going to definitely change some things in Denver, but it's not a guarantee. I think Kansas City's still the clear the best team in that division, hands down. What's that? The Chargers, maybe, but it's just the Chargers just keep falling short for whatever reason. So, but all that was interesting this week. And I think that's all. I mean, I think that's pretty much NFL news here. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Like I said, longer video than I thought. We had about 40 minutes now. Quick final thoughts. What's coming up on the channel? I've been, like I said, this week, if you've been following me, I've been still doing God of War. The storyline of it is over, but we're going, I'm gonna show my freelance videos. I'm gonna do a live Twitch this week for sure. I'm gonna announce it and everything. I'm gonna go live on Twitch for God of War this week. The Last of Us 2 also will continue. I might do a video of either one of those today. But like I said, I like to get my little nap in, so but just stay tuned. Just keep your notifications on. I post at least 1 or 2 videos a day. I also been doing Call of Duty, because it's season 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So you'll see some videos of that coming here and there. I'm gonna try to get a couple of the new maps gameplay on, so I'll keep your eye out for that. Other sports news, NASCAR, Daytona 500 is tomorrow. For you race fans, that's a big deal. I don't follow NASCAR like I used to anymore, but that's tomorrow. XFL starts today at noon. 2 games today, 2 games tomorrow. It's only 8 teams, so definitely check that out if you still don't watch some football. Golf, I heard Tiger Woods is doing well. I don't know exactly what tournament it is, but definitely check that out if you're a golf fan. So there's some sports events going on this week, this weekend, so definitely check them all out now that the NFL season's over. Alright, so that's going to do it this week for the Side Sports Video Blog, episode 223. I thank you guys so much for the support. I've been trying, like I said, I've been slacking a little bit, but the support ain't been as strong lately. Been dealing with some things behind the scenes as always, so that's always a roadblock to get over, but I still appreciate you guys. Shout out to my man Good Vibes again. He reached out to me. He changed his name on YouTube, and I remember you, by the way. Hope you're doing well, but like I said, I know you in school and everything, so I know you don't be having the time to be as supportive as you was, but I always appreciate your support and everybody's support here on the channel. So Like I said, I'm gonna keep doing my thing. I'm gonna keep putting up content. Maybe we'll hit a gold mine again. I've been trying to do some more Sonic Mania video, Sonic Origins videos, but I just think it's just old now. The game is what, 8 months old, so we was able to hit that oil during the beginning, but now it's different. But I'm still gonna do videos of that as well. I started Sonic 3. I gotta finish Sonic 2, so definitely look out for that as well. I try to throw those in there during the week as well. So thank you guys so much for the support. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. Y'all have a good weekend. Thank you guys. Thank you for the support, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace and love, everyone. Thank you so much.